You are looking at a live shot of the Seneca Falls Canal Harbor in downtown Seneca Falls, just outside the offices of FingerLakes1.com. I'm Jim Sinacropi, and it is just after 3:30 on Monday, and this is your FingerLakes1.com local weather center storm update. Hi, everybody. Hurricane Sandy making its way near shore in Virginia and New Jersey, and then it's supposed to head north and right through the Finger Lakes. Hopefully things will diminish as that center of that storm hits landfall, but already we're starting to see some of the effects of this storm, which is just huge. The outer rings, the wind and the rain is just starting to hit us here in the Finger Lakes, as you could see by this live image of the Seneca Falls Canal Harbor. Currently, there's a high wind warning in effect from 2 o'clock this afternoon through 11 a.m. Tuesday, and then a flood watch is in effect from 2 p.m. today through Tuesday morning. Let's take a quick look, if we can, at the latest radar image of this storm. And there you go. You can see the storm is just making landfall, and the outer ring is beginning to hit us here in the Finger Lakes. The bulk of that should head north, and later on tonight, about 8 o'clock, we should start seeing higher winds. Currently, the forecast calls for overcast with rain in the afternoon, a high temperature of 55, winds from the west at 10 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. But then tonight, it stays warm. We only get down to a low of about 52, but the winds will increase from the north-northeast to 30 to 35 miles per hour and gusts up to 55 miles per hour, which certainly can do damage here in the Finger Lakes. Chance of rain, of course, 100%, and we're looking at up to 1.5 inches possible of rain. And that's just tonight. Into Tuesday, it continues. Tuesday should have a high of 55 degrees. High winds should continue at 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusting up to 35 miles per hour through Tuesday. And again, chance of rain near 100%. And then on Tuesday night, rain showers should continue. Temperatures will drop with a low of only 41. So no real snow. I know they talked about snow with this storm, but it looks like no real snow here from the Finger Lakes. Most of that snow is going to be in the higher elevations of West Virginia and Virginia, where blizzard warnings are in effect right now. And then by Wednesday, things should cool down wind-wise with out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour, but still a 60% chance of rain. So it looks like the biggest threat that we're looking at here is high winds tonight and flooding throughout the week. The storm, like I said, is just huge, and it's relatively slow moving, and it's going to be over us for a long time. So, with some rain that we had last week, they have lowered the levels of the canal system and some of the lakes in anticipation of this, but there is going to be a lot of rain, and of course that brings with it a chance of flooding. And also of importance, obviously, is a chance of power outages. As this map shows, that the entire Finger Lakes region is under the threat of likely power outage. Whether they'll be widespread or localized, that remains to be seen. NYSEG and RG&E has galvanized their teams ready to react to any lines down and power outages, but you should expect tonight to lose power at some time between late afternoon today into tomorrow morning, and you should be prepared for that. Now, how can you be prepared? You should have flashlights, obviously. You should have candles. You should have ice in a cooler to preserve that food in the refrigerator when the power goes out. You should be prepared with blankets or kerosene heaters to handle what could be a cold night without electricity tonight. You should stock up on some water, and of course you should have your laptops and cell phones charged because you won't be able to charge them once the power goes out. Now, if you have an electric generator, great. Maybe you have a neighbor if things get really hairy, but you're also going to be looking out. Probably one of the biggest things that we're facing here, in addition to the flooding, would be tree limbs and falling down on property or power lines. Obviously, stay away from any power lines that fall. You may want to park your car in a different side of the parking lot where it's less likely to get hit by falling trees. You make those judgments based on where you park. There's a lot of local closings going on here in the Finger Lakes, of course. Almost all schools have closed early today with no afternoon activities. That would be Cuga, colleges too. Cuga Community College, Auburn, and Fulton classes, no afternoon classes, no activities after 5 p.m. Tompkins Cortland Community College closing at 4. FLCC closing at 4. Monroe Community College closing at 4, and Syracuse University is closing early. They've already closed at 1:40 p.m., and they're closing Tuesday. Auburn City Schools closed tonight. Cato Meridian, Canandaigua, Clyde Savannah, Dryden, Geneva, all after-school activities canceled. Groton, no after-school activities, and the board meeting tonight canceled. Honeoye, Ithaca, Lyons, Marcus Whitman, Newark, Penn Yan, Red Creek, Romulus, Seneca Falls, and Waterloo. South Seneca is actually already gone ahead and issued a 2-hour delay for Tuesday. South Seneca Central School, no after-school or evening activities. Wayne Central, Weedsport, closed tonight. No concert in Weedsport tonight. All facilities will be closed at 5 o'clock. Skaneateles Central School District closing early. All facilities will be closed at 5 p.m. and Victor closing early. And pretty much every school, if you want to get an updated look at who's closing early, not only schools but businesses and organizations, you can go to the FingerLakes1.com Weather Center and click on local cancellations, or right on our homepage under hot links, and that will get you to lists of closings that will be updated this afternoon through the night and into tomorrow morning, because you're obviously, before you head out to school tomorrow, you're going to want to check and see if in fact there is a delay or closings. The Lions Community Center's youth basketball tonight's canceled. The Ontario County Board of Elections inspector training's been postponed to November 1st, which is Thursday. Boys and Girls Club of Geneva has closed. No PM activities. And Chemung Canal Trust, all branches are closing early today at 4 o'clock. So let's take a quick look, if we can, here around the Finger Lakes. This is a live look at Sodus Bay, where you can see the whitecaps are starting to hit the shore. Things should get a lot worse on Lake Ontario shortly as we move into the night. And here's a live look at Geneva, the Ramada Lakefront. That cam is obviously covered with water as rain starts to fall. And once again, here's a look outside our offices and studios here in Seneca Falls. You can see the wind is already starting to move those tree limbs. The rain is falling, but this is nothing compared to what's going to happen here in a few hours as wind gusts pick up to close to 60 miles per hour here in the Finger Lakes. Now, there's some emergency info that you should have handy. As always, and there's in a case of an emergency related to this storm, 911 is your best bet. Dial 911. I also have some phone numbers here for you. Local county emergency management offices. Cuga County, 315-255-1161. Monroe County, 585-753-3810. Ontario County, 585-396-4310. And in Seneca County, it's 315-539-9241. Schuyler County, 607-535-8200. And in Tompkins County, 607-257-3888. In Wayne County, the number is 315-946-5663. And Yates County, 315-536-3000. Visit redcross.org for shelter availability. The Red Cross of the Finger Lakes has preliminary plans to open shelters if necessary, and you can find that info at redcross.org. Now, of course, it might be tough if the power goes out, but if you keep your phones charged and hopefully keep a cell signal, or perhaps maybe on your laptop, depending on how you connect to the internet, whether it's through a modem or through a wireless device like a cell phone or a wireless hotspot, you may or may not have availability to the internet. At fingerlakes1.com, we plan on staying online throughout the storm regardless of power situations. Our facility is backed up with an electric generator, so even if we lose power here in Seneca Falls or other parts of the Finger Lakes, we will keep our website and network updated with information important to you in dealing with this storm. So, like I say, even if the power's out, you can pull us up on your phone. Smartphones go directly to fingerlakes1.com, and you should be able to access our weather center there for the latest information. People are stocking up on things, rightfully so. Things like candles and flashlights, and as I mentioned before, ice for coolers to protect some of that food in case your refrigerator loses power for an extended period of time. Now, I've got some reports from Walmarts in the area. Auburn Walmart has just a few flashlights left. They have plenty of candles if you like scented candles. Those are the ones that seem to be still available. And they're reporting that they do have plenty of water. Seneca Falls Waterloo Walmart is all out of most of the straight up water. There's some flavored waters there, but they do have, and we're continuing to stock on their shelves, gallon jugs of distilled water. So there is water available there. Also, tons of ice available at the Seneca Falls Waterloo Walmart. Flashlights, you might be out of luck. There were just about 2 or 3 of a more expensive variety on the shelves at Walmart as of 2 o'clock this afternoon. Geneva Walmart, a limited supply of flashlights still available, candles available. Again, just gallon jugs of water available. And at the Canandaigua Walmart, more of the same. Flashlight supplies running a bit low, but they do have water and they do have candles. And they do have ice in Canandaigua as well. So prepare, put the ice in coolers, and just so in case there's an extended power outage, you won't lose all the food in your refrigerator and freezer. 2 or 3 coolers filled with ice wouldn't be a bad move if you want to be safe. Now, there's still time to get outside and batten down the hatches in your yard, the lawn furniture, the umbrellas, other things that may get swept away when a 50-mile-per-hour wind. You might want to secure those now before things turn bad, because later tonight you aren't going to want to be outside. You're going to want to be inside. It's just too much of a risk with the possibility of trees falling and limbs falling. Make sure those flashlights are filled with batteries. All Walmarts and I'm sure a lot of other local stores have plenty of batteries, but make sure that your flashlights may work. But when's the last time you checked those batteries? Candles, make sure you have tons of candles, and don't fall asleep with those candles burning. Stay diligent with that. You don't want a fire from candles. And charge your laptops and phones now while you can. Follow the storm at the fingerlakes1.com local weather center all night and into tomorrow, based on your availability to power. Once again, let me take the latest look at that radar. As you can see, the storm is just starting to move into the Finger Lakes. We haven't experienced much of anything yet in terms of the full force of what this will bring. Now, Sandy won't be a hurricane by the time the center of the storm gets up here to the Finger Lakes. It probably won't even be a tropical storm, but it'll be right on that edge. And Governor Cuomo, President Obama are issuing warnings, rightfully so. A lot of times we think that, since we're so far inland, that stuff like this won't affect us. But let me tell you, 55-mile-per-hour winds, overnight, we are going to see some damage. That's for sure, and some flooding. those are the major concerns here in the Finger Lakes as we take another look outside our offices and studios here in Seneca Falls, where right now it's just a windy, rainy day, but things will get a lot worse into the early evening and overnight. So again, at thefingerlakes1.com local weather center, you'll have live radar images, the latest forecast and official National Weather Services warnings and announcements, local school event, government, and business closings available via the cancellations link. And we're also doing a live stream, basically, of what the Weather Channel's showing. It's on our homepage and our Weather Center page in the video player. So, that's a great way if you're at work right now and you want to track what's going on with the storm. Look for that. They're showing basically live coverage of exactly what you would see on TV, and that will be available on our homepage and at our local weather center. And of course, check the front page of fingerlakes1.com for the latest headlines. And, we're going to be playing it by ear in terms of our fingerlakes1.tv programming over the next couple of days. We will, of course, remain diligent with our updates of the website in terms of the latest news and announcements that you need to know about. And basically, Finger Lakes, stay safe tonight. And check your sump pumps, too. I don't know if I mentioned that, but, you want to make sure those sump pumps are working tonight. But be prepared. Now while you can, just have a few more hours before you're going to want to probably be settled in for the night at home with your families, and stay with fingerlakes1.com throughout the night. Don't panic if the power goes out, but do be prepared for that power to be out for an extended period of time. With these types of storms, we never really know exactly what's going to happen, but you should prepare for the worst. From fingerlakes1.com studio with your fingerlakes1.com local weather center update, I'm Jim Sinacropi, and stay safe tonight, everybody.